What's good, man?
Just here, living life as usual, man.
Yeah, nice one. Just a dynamic duo today.
Yeah,
Jay's away, travelling.
enjoying the LA life.
Yep. Yeah, jealous, man. It'd be nice to be in this time of year.
Are
But
you, would you ever plan to do a LA trip? Because you haven't been out there yet, have you?
nah, not been out there yet. I'd like to, for sure.
Mm.
Like, I think maybe next year, start of next year, I'd go out there like for Nam and then just line up some sessions or something like that, or maybe just go like back end of summer or something this year.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you thinking of going again at some point? Because you've been a few times, right?
yeah, I've been a few times. Maybe in April time. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning before, but we'll see. This year,
Yeah.
I really don't want to travel as much, but I'm already got travel plans.
Already got the itch to go.
It's more so that I just need to get things done in different places. Because
Right,
I can't
right.
always do everything online. Sometimes you just have to be in a certain spot. And
Mm. Yeah, that's
even though I
right.
live here, some of life is still back in the UK. So,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what you got planned this year then? Like for travel?
well, in 2-3 weeks, gonna be back in UK,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like I was saying, possibly planning for LA in April. And then
Yeah.
when rainy season hits here, usually the plan would be to spend like a month somewhere else.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
nice. Yeah, that sounds good, man. Yeah, I've not got anything booked yet this year. I'm just gonna see what comes up. Like I booked a holiday like last October, but I didn't book it until like July, June time. So
Hmm.
I'll probably just do that again this year. And outside of that, I've got nothing planned. Although I found this app, my girlfriend found this app where you can like house sit for
Oh
people
yeah.
whilst they're away, like look after their
Mm.
pets and stuff. So she's just been applying for a bunch of them in the UK, and there's some abroad as well. Like found one in like Switzerland and a few
Hmm.
other places. So might try and do that this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Are you
find
a
some cool
pets kind of
spots.
person? Do you like dogs and cats?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, at some point I'll probably get a dog.
Mm.
Um, Cats. Yeah, cats are cool. It depends on the cat. Most dogs are like
Yeah.
they just love you like no matter what, but some cats are just feisty, but some are like just more chilled. So
Hmm.
if you can get a chilled cat, then definitely.
I hear that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. What's new with you anyway?
Nothing much, man. I spent a lot of the week making music, editing that video. I had to edit it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it
that took
turned out
me
good,
a
man.
while.
Did it?
Yeah, it turned out alright. It's doing well. But it took
Good.
me quite a while to edit.
Yeah, I could tell there's like a lot of. I just if you just count the amount of jump cuts, or like the scene changes, even if it's just like jumping from like a screen recording to just like a face cam, just
Hmm.
shit just takes time, doesn't it? Like everything, every little cut takes a good couple of minutes. So add them all up, and it's fucking takes forever.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's cool. I don't mind it. It depends on the
Mm.
video. If it's more vloggy, then I love editing those kind of style videos. But when
Yeah.
it's very screen recording heavy, it gets a bit tedious.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember like when we used to do the link ups, I used to like really look forward to editing those just because it was all like
Mm.
vloggy and just more like there's barely any screen recordings. It's just catching the vibes really.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's just like you sat in front of a laptop screen recording, it's just gets a bit long.
For real.
Do you ever
What's
feel like like when you're editing? Do you ever feel like when you're editing, if it's going to be a decent like it's going to perform well? Like if the edit's boring.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because it's sometimes hard to tell. I think it's always the idea. If it's a good idea, then I know it will do well. If it's an idea where I'm 50-50, then it usually does 50-50. And then tutorials for me these days, it doesn't usually do great. It really just depends what it is.
Mm.
Why do you have that feeling when you're editing? Okay, this one's gonna slap because the edit.
Sometimes like so what I did. Yeah, I did one just after I released She's Plenty, and I did like kind of documented the process of making the song, and I spent a lot of time thinking about the title and spent a lot of time on the thumbnail. And I was like, before even touching the edit, and then I was like, yeah, this should do well. And whilst I was editing, I was like putting a lot of time into it, and I thought the story went well. It flowed quite quickly, and it did okay. Like it did fairly well. But I was hoping that would have been like a bigger performer at, like 50, 100k.
Yeah.
I was hoping for that. But it did better than most of my videos, which I was still happy with. But the amount of time I put into it didn't correlate with the views, basically.
Yeah, sometimes that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's just one of them. But it is what it is, man. And then like there is other ones where it's like really easy to film, like a mixing. I did like a vocal mixing tutorial. Pretty simple to, pretty straightforward video, and that one banged just because I think it probably hit the sweet spot. People probably looking for it, but yeah, it's just no telling.
I feel like people always looking for mixing tutorials because it's probably one of the biggest pain points for a producer.
Yeah, definitely seems that way. I know from like a lot of the surveys that I was getting back for the mentorship stuff, a good amount of them, I'd say like 80% of them had mixing in there as well as other things, but mainly mixing was like the standout like issue that people struggle with. I wonder why that is. I think maybe it's just something that takes longer to get good at.
Definitely, and it's also naturally and you should do this when it comes to mixing anyway, but naturally we're listening to this stuff on Spotify, then we listen back to our stuff straight raw from the door.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not sounding the same, so immediately we're probably just thinking like, what is going on? The idea is there, but it's just not polished. And I don't know if everybody in the beginning knows that it's because it's been professionally mixed and mastered, why it sounds amazing on Spotify versus like in the door.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're like a lot, not everyone, because like Jason, Joshua, and a few other guys, they do a lot of stuff in the box, like in the DAW, but for the most part, when you hear like these breakdowns and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, I ran the vocals through this hardware compressor, then this reverb before I even touched the door, and they do all these like extra things from like a crazy studio before they even get to the in the box stuff. So yeah, I think we do put too much pressure on ourselves to sound like, I don't know, like fucking Lil Yachty, like straight out of the box, like that kind of level mix, or like Travis Scott. But
then again, you do kind of need that kind of level to get yourself to that quality. Because as soon as you press play, if your mix is not good, then it's immediately like, turn it off.
Yeah,
like it has to hit that baseline at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like when you're doing those live streams, do you know? Like, I think that's the main thing. I know that's for me. Like when I do the beat critiques, if the mix is off, like if it's just not coming through sonically, it could be like a very average beat, like from a technical perspective. But if the mix is like on point, then I'm like,
way better.
Yeah, it's way more like pleasing to listen to, as opposed to like a really complex beat that's just like sounding dead, like flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of.
It is important. It's not like the main important thing for a music producer, but it is important. I realized this because I used to have the attitude of like, I'm never mixing, it's just a waste of time. But then when I started playing my beats in sessions and they weren't hitting as well as they could be, and I know it was a good beat, but they just weren't hitting, that's when I realized, okay, I need to actually tighten it up a bit.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think for sessions, like, it's huge as well, isn't it? Like, rappers, don't care too much about the technical stuff on the beats, like crazy melodies and stuff. They just care about, like, do the drums knock? Does it bang? And if the answer is yes, then normally it's a good beat. So it's kind of tricky. But yeah.
What's new with you?
Not too much really. I've just wrapped up the kit like yesterday. Just finished everything. So I'm just working on like the sales page and stuff over the weekend, and then editing a video, standard stuff. I've got like a funny like meme TikTok / reel that I want to try out, see how it performs. It's Alex Jones, the
conspiracy guy.
Yeah, I don't know how old the clip is, but I saw it pop up. There was like a pianist guy on one half of the screen, and then there was him, and he was doing this rant where it was like in rhythm. He was talking about the liberals in America. He was like, liberal, happy, and he just went on in this like, he said it in a happy tone, but it was like horrible. The stuff he was saying was horrible, and this guy was playing like a really chirpy like piano underneath it, and it sounded jokes. So I just did like a put some like trap drums over it, and it sounded quite funny. So I'm gonna try that. See how it performs. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, man, just normal shit really. Just gym, recording, making beats.
I hear that.
Stuff,
the life,
really.
the music producer life.
The life, yeah. Well, mentorship stuff as well. But yeah, nothing else really.
Did you hit your goal with that?
Yeah, I got all 5. I got 5 people on board.
Nice.
We're kind of like getting into it now. Like everyone's at least done 2 calls, and then I might take one more guy on if I can get him on by the end of this month, and if not, I'll just leave it until March time, and then I'll open up some slots again. But yeah,
nice,
it's going well, man. It's going well. Have you you relaunched your community, right?
So not really, just on Discord. So I relaunched my Discord because I neglected it. I'm not really a Discord person, so I stopped checking in on it. But I thought I need to be able to talk with the people, talk with my people who watch me. And Discord still is pretty much where everyone is. So just cleaned it up, back in Discord pretty much all the time.
Nice.
Maybe in the future I will launch something, but for now, like, Discord is good enough.
Do you cook up in there? Like, do you join the voice channels and stuff?
Nah, not really. I'm still thinking if I want to do live streams and that.
Right. Yeah,
because my process takes quite long. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I changed my mind a lot. It's not really as decisive as when I was just making like drill beats and stuff. Yeah.
No, I hear that. I remember when we made that house track in London, and it is more of a process, because you're not just thinking about like an 16 bar loop, or longest it's going to be like 32 bars, where it's like stuff's changing, whereas house it's like 4 or 5 minute track changes about 4 or 5 times, and just a lot more going on.
And I don't know if people are going to enjoy like me spending 2 hours on something to just be like, nah. I'm not feeling it anymore.
We'll come back to that.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. Like, have you ever streamed cooking up?
Yeah, I've done it in the past. It was fine, to be honest with you. Actually, you know what? I think because I was under pressure, I made really good stuff. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, when you're live, do you feel like you end up one, making a better track, and then 2, finishing it and feeling like you have to finish it? Yeah.
You've been thinking about live streaming?
Honestly, not at the minute. No, I'll do the odd one on Instagram, just going through some beats or like just cooking up. But I'm really not feeling. I like doing it, the beat critique stuff, but I think it is helpful for producers like this, like, to get some input. But yeah, just the mentorship stuff, I don't know, it just feels way more way more beneficial for them.
No, 100%.
Yeah, so I'm just focusing on that at the minute, and then I'm just trying to like prioritize like the right things at the minute, if that makes sense.
No, 100.
Yeah, just because it's not like it used to be, like for like 2021, 2022, like you could just wake up, you've got like a bunch of sales from kits and stuff, and like sponsors were paying good, everyone was kind of rolling in at that point, whereas now it's a little bit different. Like, sponsors are more on like the affiliate link side of stuff, and I've not really been making as many kits, and once if views kind of fluctuate, then that can affect stuff as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to like just kind of streamline more stuff, I guess.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. Adding on live stream is literally adding another job to your life.
yeah, it's a lot to take on,
and it doesn't necessarily, like, it's nice because you do get to connect with the people, but it doesn't really pay anything,
Yeah, unless you're like Kai Cenat or someone, where it's like,
Yeah, I need to get to that level. It's going to take time. But I definitely feel like there's an open lane for that.
yeah, I saw there's an American guy. He like streams whilst making a song with like good like talented rappers, and then they'll post the song kind of like under both of their names. I can't remember his name now, but yeah, that definitely. And his views are banging. Like he's posting like clips, and he's getting like minimum 100k per clip that he posts on YouTube. So I don't know what his I don't know what his subs are like on. I don't know where he streams, like Twitch or something. But yeah, I think he's killing it. I'm pretty sure he had Trippie Redd on there, and they made a song. You know,
wait,
8 hours stream.
Packboy Max you talking about?
Might be. Let me.
He's like a really huge streamer. He gets all the big people, like he had Cash Cobain and the actress and stuff.
I think it might be him. What's his name again?
Packboy Max.
Packboy Max. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, now he is killing it. He's probably one of the bigger Twitch streamers right now.
Yeah, he's literally just posted a video of Central C doing a stream with him.
Oh shit! What? Central C's in the stream?
Literally, yeah. He just
wow.
It says 3 minutes ago he just posted a 12-minute clip of him with him and Central C.
Yeah,
I think he just dropped the album, right?
Yeah, he dropped the album.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane. Yeah, these Twitch streamers, they do well in terms of, because they have so much attention on them. All the rappers and stuff want to go there and promote their stuff. It's such a good play.
Definitely, it's almost like the next podcast. Like podcasting was the thing, now it's streaming. Yeah, like for musicians.
And there's a lot in the US, a lot of streamers in the US, but I haven't seen a ton yet pop up in the UK. Hasn't necessarily become a thing yet.
Nah. I wonder why that is.
But I definitely feel like there's a lane there for sure, but you just got to grind that out.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to take like years, not like a few months. Unless like you've already got somewhat of an audience. Like I feel like if you went into it full-fledged, you'd be able to build it up in less time.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone's starting from scratch.
I would low-key love to do it, but there's only so much hours in the day, man.
Yeah, and these streams are like 4, 5, 6 hours long. It's like it's a whole day.
You don't really do much else.
Yeah. What's your day looking like at the minute? Sorry, go on.
Oh, what's my day looking like? I wake up at 6, in the gym for 7, finish gym by let's say 9. Breakfast, I'm usually at the desk for like 10:30, doing whatever until 4, break, and then I'll do like the second half of the day, which will take me until like anywhere between 7 and 10, depending on how I feel. If I've got nothing to do, like I'm not going out, I'm not doing an activity or meeting anyone, then I'll just work until 10 and then wake up and do it again.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. There's no
I'm pretty dialed in with the gym right now in terms of like dieting and sleep, so
nice.
I'm trying to limit myself going out, because as soon as I do, even if that's meeting friends and that you want a croissant, you want a meal off plan, it takes you off plan a little bit. It's just so much easier if I just stay home. You know what I'm trying to say? I can just stick to the calories, no problem.
Yeah,
I'm really trying to like hone that in, so for now anyway.
Yeah, I feel like most places you go, like if you go out with friends, you just go into somewhere where like food's not the priority. It's just, you see people, if there's food there, it's great. You just try and get whatever you can, and it's never like what you need to get in. Like it's not enough protein, or it's not enough like calories, or it's too much.
Yeah,
just like crap food. So
and here is foodie heaven. There's bakeries and cake shops and street food, and it's all very tasty, all very appealing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Thailand's probably the last place you want to go if you've got no willpower for food.
Yeah, but it's a good one. It's good for discipline because you'll test yourself, but also it can be amazing if you are on a diet too, because you can get really healthy food.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Would you say it's better than the UK in terms of like if you went out, you'd be able to eat clean in more places than you would in the UK?
Oh, I feel like UK is quite is getting health conscious though. So there are places where you can go, but
Yeah,
well, in London anyway. But here, I wouldn't even need to go to a health conscious place to eat healthy. Like I could get healthy street food if I wanted to, or I
right,
could
right.
just get fruits, or I can get natural. I'll say this: I can get natural stuff better here in terms of like
Yeah,
at
yeah.
12 o'clock at night, I can just get chicken and rice or fruits. Where that's not happening in England, but
No.
in England, I can get like good protein bars, way better selection of protein powders, electrolytes, all that kind of stuff, kind of easy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot more accessible stuff in the UK, which is a good thing and a bad thing because, yeah, like you said, in London it's alright, but anywhere else, the only places that stay open late food wise is just junk food,
Kebabs,
like kebabs,
pizza, yeah,
spoons, just like shit food that's like, yeah,
yeah. And
not
if
the
you're
best.
going into like a off license or a newsagents, whatever, nothing in there is really gonna be decent. You know what I'm trying to say? You might be able to find a protein bar, but that's like the peak of
Yeah,
health, if that makes sense.
yeah. Because even like saw this clip on how they make the sandwiches in like convenience stores.
Oh
And it
man,
just
those sandwiches look awful in those
They-
shops.
they've never been nice, and it's good to see why. Because like, yeah, it's just
They
the
look
process
terrible.
is, yeah.
But I
Awful,
tell you
man.
what though, Tesco meal deal is good though. That's like as far as I go in terms of sandwiches.
Yeah, they are good.
That is not fresh.
Yeah, definitely not fresh, but you know, it's like it's doable. Like it'll fill you up for
Yeah,
a good
it's
few
decent
hours.
value. Even though they keep raising the price, but it was good value.
Yeah, you just gotta do what you gotta do. That was the tough thing about being in Piccadilly with the studio, because it was, to be fair, and Cockfosters. All we had was Sainsbury's at Cockfosters.
Yeah, and Sainsbury's meal deal is terrible, and
Yeah,
the Sainsbury's in Cockfosters is dead.
yeah,
It's
it was
empty.
crap. And then you, Piccadilly was good, to be fair. It had that.
Yeah, they had a huge selection,
And
and there was Whole Foods and all that kind of stuff too, which was good.
Yeah, Whole Foods was sick. And there was that place down the road that did like those rice, man,
remember?
coma
Yeah,
food.
that was
It
a
too
good one.
tempted. Yeah, it was too nice, man. It was like they give you
definitely
so
put
much.
MSG in that shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't like not stop eating it, and then you've already gone too far, and then yeah, you just ran off for the rest of the day at that point. So, but that was good. Yeah.
Have
So,
you
yeah,
listened to the Central C yet?
Nah, not yet. I haven't literally listened to any. Oh, well, I heard the song he did with 21 Savage, the music video.
Yeah.
Did you
Produced
see
by
that?
8 and Harry. Crazy.
Oh, boys.
Shout out
Yeah,
to them.
I know, man. They smashed it. I wonder how that came about. Like, I wonder what the process was. Like, if they were in the studio or they were just sending out loops, or because normally those guys, their placements come from being in the studio with said artist, don't they? So yeah, I'm intrigued to know how that came about.
Seeing their journey's been crazy. Seeing them from like the beginning to just hustling, man, just living in flipping Signature Studios.
Yeah, they've been putting in the work, man. Like, they deserve everything they've got right now. It's like it's not an accident that they've got
Absolutely
all these placements. No,
I feel like 8 is very switched on and smart when it comes to maneuvering the industry and stuff. I feel like he just got it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like whenever we spoke to him, or like whenever I spoke to him in Signature, he was just kind of explaining just like his day, and he's always like grinding out mixes and masters, and then he'll meet people through that, and then he'll manage to get a session here and there. I think I had a session with him, it was just me and him once, and we did it, I think it was like 4 hours, 5 hours, and we just made a few beats, and he was talking about the D-Block stuff, and he was like, he's got Ad's number, and he's just sending him like 5 beats like every day. And then like later on, he got a text from his manager. He was like, "Oh, we've got a session at Steph London's place today," and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, like, there's no plan for his day, but it's always filled up with stuff like opportunities that he always says yes to. So it's like, yeah, he's just available. He just made sure he just made sure he was available. Really, that's probably the source. Yeah. Do you feel like you was, when you was at Signature, do you feel like you had that, I guess not access, but just like more of a network, or like, did you feel like you were good at like the networking side of it whilst you were there?
Kinda, in some ways, because every time you go toilet, you just meet someone. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You
Yeah.
walk out and you might just, like one time I just walked out to heat up my food and I see Young Ads or I see Chip or whoever, Nath Smalls or Young Chenks or Quincy Tellum or whatever. You just bump into people and you can make a lot of connections that way, to be fair. So yeah, I feel like it was definitely beneficial in that way.
Yeah, definitely. That room is like, yeah, if you want to bump into someone, then that lounge room was...
If you stay there for 24 hours, you're gonna bump into people. Just sit in that lounge, you know.
Yeah, just literally sitting there, and someone's gonna walk through at some point. Yeah,
and sometimes
100%.
it's not even. Maybe you don't make the connection on the first time, but you just keep seeing the same face.
Just
and
like
then
a
you
hi,
just
what's
get
good, man?
acquainted.
And yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best way. It's just getting in the room, isn't it? I know, like, that's probably the way that Outlaw Beats kind of got his in, because he got a studio there, didn't he? And he was running sessions, mixing and mastering and stuff, and yeah, just through hanging out there, like, people just come through. So it might have been his in. But have you seen they've changed it now? I saw a picture from Sean Merds, not Sean Merds, the other Sean D, and they've put like an office in the lounge now.
Yeah, like a see-through office.
Yeah, so it's like a little, it's like a, you go through the door, and then there's like a corridor, and then the glass office like takes up most of the room on the left, and then it's just like a tiny little bit now around the outside.
Yeah, I saw that, and I think he took the studio that I used to be in.
Yeah, I think I can't remember who said that, but yeah, I remember someone saying that. Maybe 8. But yeah, congrats to those guys, man. I've been watching a lot because I saw the music video for that song, and then I saw his Lyrical Lemonade did it, and I just went through some of their, like, just seeing who they've like been working with recently, and they did one which I was surprised at with this artist called Sar Baby. Do you know who that is?
I only know him because I remember you listening to him. Used to listen to him.
Yeah, so he got a Lyrical Lemonade video, which I was dead surprised at, because like I love his stuff, and I think he's got like a good cult following, but I don't think it was on that level of like Lyrical Lemonade working with him. But I feel like that company, they'll just work with whoever they want to work with, like whoever they like they'll work with, not whoever's like popping, you know. So yeah, it was quite cool to see. Yeah, what you been listening to recently?
Nothing in terms of new stuff. I've been going more back to old stuff, really. And my playlist is a bit all over the place. It's never the same kind of genre.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit all over the place. What about yourself?
Yeah, same really. Just my standard list. I went back through and listened to like some of Nav's albums.
Nav's 2015, 2016. What a time.
And yeah, that's a good album. And then I listened to his most recent like big project. I can't remember the name of it now. I'll find it. But there was some bangers on there.
Is that the one with the abstract kind of cover art?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was that one. The first song, I think it's the first song. It's called Baby, and like I was just paying attention to like his rhythm, and I was like, damn, like, he's he's got such a complex flow. Like, sounds kind of simple on the surface, but then you actually don't like. You just like listen to it. You try and pay attention to it, and it's crazy, man. Yeah, it was that. I gotta find the album. Nav. See all. Yeah, it was called Demons Protected by Angels.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah, I remember when Nav was just straight on YouTube, no face, no one knew really who he was. And I remember
Yeah.
being really early and being like, oh, do you know Nav? And people were like, nah, I never heard of him. I was in Canada as well and be like, oh, do you know Nav? And then he just completely like blew up.
Yeah.
When he started working with Travis and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I wonder how he got like in with that group as well, because I guess he came late to that group, right? Oh, okay.
Pretty sure he signed to XO,
Mhm.
and then it completely took off. But
Yeah.
even at the time though, like the songs he was making wasn't like for that time period. I feel like his stuff was just like super sick. Like it stood out. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Super
And I know
catchy.
obviously he's successful, like he's killing it, but I feel like he's always one of them. He's one of them artists again where you just feel like he should have been bigger, or he should be bigger.
The thing is, he's huge, but he's just not. We don't think of him like a Drake or something like that. But he is huge.
Nah.
You just gotta tap in, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
But
definitely.
he is. He's on. I just checked his Spotify. He's like basically 12 million monthlies.
Oh shit, that's crazy. I guess he's been good with. He's got some good features as well, like some good Travis features. I mean, Lemonade. That's $1 billion right there.
Yeah.
Almost $1.5 billion. And he did a Spider-Man track as well. 200
If you do
mil.
a Spider-Man track,
Guaranteed
you're good.
streams.
yeah,
Yeah. And then there's a big one he did with Gunna and Travis Scott.
man. So, movie soundtracks. I don't know how big they are today. I think it really depends on the movie, but they can really last a long time. You know, if the movie's such a hit, those are like incredible songs to have.
Yeah, because if you're a kid listening to like the film and like, yeah, just music hits differently when you're younger. So it's like you hear that one song. I think it was like the first Spider-Man, you know, the cartoon version of it, like the Miles Morales one. That's when Post and Sway Lee dropped Sunflower, and that's like I think it's Post's biggest song.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
that
right?
went diamond.
Yeah, like, it just blew up, and I was just off the back of a movie soundtrack. So such a crazy thing, but I guess yeah, if it blows up, it goes crazy. So certain films, like if a company's like, do you want to do a song, and it's like Spider-Man, it's like
You got to take it, innit?
you can't not do that. I think Don Toliver did one as well for the new Spider-Man, like for the second one.
Yeah, some of the biggest hits are movie soundtracks. Like I'm thinking, Wiz Khalifa's biggest hit is "See You Again."
Yeah.
Titanic, Celine Dion. That's probably her biggest hit. What else had like huge hits? There's definitely tons that I can't think of, but
Yeah, a lot of them are from
Pump It Up.
movies.
Too Fast,
Pump
Too
It Up.
Furious.
Oh yeah, Joe Budden. Fucking hell, I forgot about
Yeah.
that song. Yeah. And he got another big placement on a movie as a dance. Do you remember You Got Served? You've got
Yeah, You
served.
Got
You've been served. Yeah, that was like one of the last songs they danced to on there, on that film.
Oh yeah.
That was Amarion and I can't remember the
Oh
other guy.
yeah, I remember. Yeah. That was a good film.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I watched that like 100 times.
Same, yeah. I fucking banged that film because I used to love like how Americans dressed, like they're just like
Same, man.
the
I was
baggy
super into
clothes.
that. Yeah.
And you couldn't get it in the UK. Like it wasn't.
It was so
the
tough. You'd
internet.
have to go there to get
Yeah.
those kind of Air Forces and the tracksuits and that.
Yeah, the only place I ever went to in the UK was like that was close. That was like close to finding this stuff was like Sports Direct. They sold like NBA jerseys and like champion hoodies and stuff, but nowhere else really. And the hats, like you couldn't get the hats anywhere, like the New Era hats.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're in London, maybe. But
Those
yeah.
were hard to get, and at the time, looking back, they wasn't that expensive. But at the time, they were really expensive. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember like begging my dad to get me one, and he got me one for my birthday.
nice.
And then I lost it in the airport in New York, and I was so sad,
fuck.
so sad.
Yeah, man, the New Era caps were not such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a thing for like because of 50 Cent. He like definitely popularized the New Era cap, the New York Yankees one. Like, that was just his look. Yeah.
Did you used to
Mental.
keep the sticker on it as well?
Yeah, yeah. I got a whole collection. I got like a, but this hats just don't suit me at all. I've got like a small head, so the cap just looks way too big on my head. So I was like, yeah, I kept trying it for a few years, and it just wasn't working. So I just gave it up in the end. But I had a solid collection. I had a good like 8 or 9 New Era caps before I got rid of them.
What about when it shifted into like the swag Tumblr era? Did you get snapbacks?
I got some snapbacks too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was when Wiz Khalifa was wearing them. He had like the NFL team.
Do you remember like Mitchell and Ness on the back?
Yeah. Mitchell and Ness. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I got a couple of them just because of Wiz Khalifa. I was watching his day-to-day videos, and he'd always be having the Mitchell and Ness snapback, and then like the American football jackets. What do you call them? Not bomber jackets, but you know what I mean, with the white arms and then the different
like
coloured
the
vest.
varsity jackets, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. He was always wearing them with like a hoodie underneath. So I was like, Christmas present, just need to get a load of hoodies and a load of American football jackets.
Yeah. I had a lot of
Mitchell
in this as well.
Yeah, I feel like your fashion kind of like morphs through your teens a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like around that time is when I first started getting some money, because I could work. I could have a little part-time job. So I finally had a bit of money, and I was just blowing it all on clothes. Like, had the chinos, had the zip hoodie, had the snapback, had the shirt with the top button, you know.
Yeah.
Had the G-Shock, the Foxtel. I had everything.
Yeah.
The beads
just
chain.
all it out, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Jordans. I had it all.
Did you ever get the in it for a while there was like those drop crotch trousers,
like the carrot kind of ones they had as well, innit?
Yeah. Because people used to
popular.
they were looking back at pictures like, what were we thinking? They were awful. Like I know a lot of my friends I didn't used to do it, but they used to get a safety pin and pin the bottom of their trousers before the carrot fit came out, and then they did come out, and then the drop crotch and the cuffed ankle, and they just look like you're wearing like a baby nappy or something. They look so weird. It was so bizarre. It's because people used to wear. I think they did start making them because people used to wear their trousers like low, like below their ass, like the gangster kind of look, and then it was like, oh, we'll just make them drop crotch, so you'd have to do that.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably about 5 years away from it all coming around. 5-10 years maybe.
Yeah, probably. Did you ever go through like the Domio phase and the Toms phase?
What's Domios?
They were like these plimsolls, like really thin shit plimsolls.
Yeah, I did I have them? I might have had them. I might have had them for school.
Right. Yeah. Everyone used to wear them. There was those, and then after that, it was the Vans plimsolls.
Oh yeah, of course, the Vans. Yeah.
Needed a bit more sturdiness, so everyone got the Vans, and then it was like proper Vans, and then now it's just. I feel like it's just anything now. It's a bit of a mixture.
Now it's definitely gone back to. It's all about baggy jeans. Not everyone, but some people are into more like bulkier, chunkier boots and shoes.
Yeah.
Crop tops, but not when I mean crop tops, I don't mean like crop to your belly button, but just really boxy fitted kind of cut
boxy
tees.
fit. Yeah.
That seems like the silhouette these days.
I feel like that's like a much better look than like some of the other looks from I don't know, like 2010 and stuff. Like.
True, but I mean we're saying that in the era, because when we was in that Tumblr era, if you was wearing baggy jeans, we're like, what are you doing? You cannot wear baggy jeans. That was so
skinny
wrong,
jeans, skinny jeans or nothing really. Skinny jeans, skinny joggers. Yeah. But now it's baggy. I'm so happy it's gone baggy though, because I used to wear baggy, and then it was all skinny jeans, and it was so uncomfortable. And then now it's back to baggy.
Forever to take off.
Yeah. Literally just like, trying to get them over your feet. They got no give. I just
now thinking about it. I know we will eventually swing back that way, but skinny jeans and Vans, man. Like, I really. No, you're right. The baggy jeans is the one.
Yeah, because you're wearing jeans, so you look dressed for the day, but you're not uncomfortable all day. You're not like itching to take them off as soon as you put them on. But yeah, I just bought a bunch of new skater fit jeans. I just got the 3 colours, like washed black, blue, and like fully black. Just get stocked up for the year.
You know what's funny though as well, like talking about that era, I was listening to music from around that era and a lot of it didn't actually age too well. It definitely sounds like that era. Do you know what I'm trying to say? With the VSTs and everything that they use, it sounds very much like that.
Yeah, I hear that. What kind of stuff are you listening to? Like rap?
So, everything really. I even went back and listened to JLS because I don't know why JLS kind of popped into my head and I was like, they were so banging in 2010, 2009. Everyone was listening to them. All the girls loved them. Every girl had their favourite one. So I just was like, let me check out JLS. And I was listening to the music and I was like, it's good, but it's very nostalgic feeling rather than it still hits the same.
Yeah, definitely. It just sounds... It felt like in that era there was just like a formula for, if you're in pop, if you're in the charts on radio, there was just a formula for the style of production. Like they had like in-house producers that all made the exact same style of beat, where it was just very synthy, cheap sort of sound in drums. And yeah, there's like that Dynamite song from Tayo Cruz.
Oh yeah,
Flow Rider had some,
but that still gets played to this day. Yeah,
like Dynamite. Yeah, there was just, I know what you mean, there was definitely a certain sound that came from like 2010 to like 2014.
It was almost like an EDM mixed with rap. Flow Rider was doing it, like you were saying. Akon jumped on it.
Yeah.
Even the UK guys, none of the UK guys really talk about this, but there was a period where, I mean, Dizzy Rascal did it, Tiny Temper did it, Wiley did it, Skepta did it,
Dappy
did it, yeah.
Chipmunk, Tinchy Strider, yeah. Even I don't know about DJ Ironic, because he did the Tiny Dancer song, but that was like just a one kind of thing, and it wasn't really that kind of style. That's more like piano, poppy kind of, still poppy, but not that kind of style. But yeah, for the most part, it was just that one style. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was never really into it. I always would go back and listen to like. No,
I wasn't really into that. I didn't really like EDM back then. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't really into any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think nowadays it's more. It just sounds better. There's like a lot more processing and more creativity and like the melodic stuff. Whereas back then it just felt like they loaded up a preset in a synth and then just recorded it raw and didn't touch it. Maybe added some reverb and that was about it.
Yeah, or just let the art play the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
And let the hi-hats go crazy.
Yeah. It just wasn't very inspiring instrumentals back then.
But at the time, yeah, they were banging.
There was some anthems that were probably missing. Like, I mean, Flow Rider had Get Low, which was a little bit more unique.
I feel like that was slightly before he fully switched into like Whistle and all those kind of songs.
Yeah, what's his name? The white Pitbull. Pitbull was probably Pitbull, the guy.
He was the guy. He's Mr. Worldwide, man. He done that. He was fully in it. Neo jumped into that. Who was I just gonna say? Do you remember like Ayaz? Jason Derulo, that kind of sound too.
What was the song that he did? What was it called? Rewind. I don't know in my head.
Yeah. Replay. That's it.
Replay. Yeah. Yeah. There's another guy that it blew up. He did like, I think he did a song with Sean Kingston. And he had like a couple big songs, but he was like, those two songs like popped off. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me. You'll know who it is straight away. But yeah, it'll come to me. Yeah, even Chris Brown got on that wave too. Yeah.
But you know what? Chris Brown, when he jumped on that wave, I think he smashed it, because to this day, I was listening back to them. Beautiful People, in my opinion, is a very underrated song. That is such a banger. Or even 3 Times. I think that's a great song. Oh, I know who you're talking about. LMFAO.
No, I know. Yeah, those guys as well. But he was. It was this black guy. I can't remember what song it was called.
With Sean Kingston.
Yeah, it
Or
might
with
have been Sean
Akon.
Kingston. Maybe Akon as well. I can't remember.
Maybe Cardinal Official.
Him. Yeah. Cardinal Official. Yeah, there's that guy. What was the name of the song he brought out? Cardinal.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You know,
number one
randomly,
as well.
I was listening to a podcast with him. There's a very good podcast, I recommend it, called The Manager's Playbook. It's more about the music industry from the perspective of management, and the guy interviews. He used to manage Jesse Reyes, but now he interviews. Like, he had Doja Cat's manager, he had a couple of like famous artist managers come on, but he had Cardinal Official on, and I think he's like a huge A&R now. He completely switched from being an artist to moving completely in the business side of things, and he's smashing it in that world.
Yeah, what's it called? Manager's Playbook.
Yeah, The Manager's Playbook.
Let's listen to that. Managers. Yeah, I'm making a note of that. That's one for you guys as well, listening at home.
Definitely recommend it. It's a good one.
Yeah, I'll take a listen. But yeah, it's just time to change now. Everything's different.
But it all comes back. That's the thing. It always comes back around. Now that we're getting older, we're finally gonna witness it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I remember when, let's say 2008, 2007, when skinny jeans was all coming in. I always remember my dad being like, "Yeah, we used to do this in the 80s. Yeah, we used to, like, let me bring out my clothes from the 80s." And I'm thinking, nah, that's a bit too old. But to be fair, it was a kind of similar dress sense.
Yeah, 20 years. 20 years,
like
80s.
A 20 to 30 year age span. Oh, sorry, like cycle.
Things. Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, but it's close. Like, the inspirations are there. Because also, think about this: 2003, late 90s to up until, like, let's say 2005. Hip hop was sampling 70s soul records. Now we're sampling R&B from 2000s. Like 2002.
Yeah. It's like Essential C. Who did he sample for that? His biggest song. Yeah, that's it.
Let me blow your mind. Yeah.
So everything's coming around again. Timbaland will start getting sampled, getting resampled. But I just, like right now, obviously we can't look that far into the future, but it will happen. 2050, they'll be sampling Central C.
Our songs now.
Yeah. But do you think it'll get to a point where, like, everyone's, because, like, that was an original. The Eve song was an original. Was it? Oh no, was it? Did they sample someone? No, I think they sampled someone.
Really? Let me see.
I think so.
I'm gonna go.
Because I was thinking this because, the song that 21 did with Metro and The Weeknd when they sampled the Fugees on Metro's album, that the Ready or Not sample. So the guy that made the original from that, so the Fugees made that song, Ready or Not. Yeah. But they sampled an older song. The drum break was sampled, and even the part of the melody. So the Fugees sampled it. So they had to clear it with the guy that made that. And then I'm pretty sure it got sampled again by someone else.
Yeah,
and
Mario
then
Winans.
Metro. Yeah. And then Metro sampled it. Yeah. So the guy was on this radio show talking about the importance of getting your business straight when you release a song, because he said from when they released that song, if I think every quarter he makes something like 500 grand or something just off the back of those. Guy. Yeah, the original guy. So he's collecting off of.
That's crazy. That's the power of music, man. You just don't know where it's going to travel to.
Yeah. I think the guy, he asked the radio host, guess how much I'm making off of that, just per quarter? And the guy was like, 100 grand. And he was like, I think it might have been 200 grand. He's like, yeah, about 210. And he was like, what? Off? He's like, from doing nothing? He went, absolutely nothing. And then he was like, and his manager pulled up his statement. He went, no, it's 250. Went, oh, sorry, it's 250 grand, just an extra 40 grand on top of it.
That's amazing. See, that is so cool. That's why I do like music in a way, because you just don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It could just come from anywhere. One day you're sitting in your house, someone's used your sound on TikTok. Now it's just having a whole life on its own again.
Yeah, so you just never know. You can go crazy, man. Is TikTok back in the US now?
I'm not
Donald
too
Trump.
sure.
Right.
I did see
think
that
so.
going around that it was banned or people couldn't get into it, right?
Yeah, it's just like if you're in the US, you couldn't use it. But I think Donald Trump wanted it to be like 50-50 split or something once he got in. So I think he's let it back open again. But not too sure. I saw he fired like 5 people publicly. As soon as he got into the office, there's all their contracts laid out on the table. He just went fired.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was on TV as well. It was like a live, broadcast. Yeah, crazy times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's next for you? You got anything plans coming up this year, like music stuff?
Just want to get some releases out. I might have something dropping in February. I just have to see.
Nice.
That would be on somebody else's label.
Sweet. What's the
yeah,
process
man.
with that? So with the label stuff, like, are you pitching the song to them? They give you an advance, and then they keep. Okay.
No advance. It's at this level anyway. I haven't really heard of anyone getting advance from independent labels. Only from the bigger labels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a list of labels that I like, or I like their sound, or I like I think it aligns with me. Let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again, if I have a record that I think it could fit well there, then I'll send it to them. You get way more yeses than nos. Every now and again, you might get a yes, and then can move forward from there.
Right. Okay, that's cool. And then the aim of it's to exposure, get bookings.
Yeah. So they will release it on their label. It will go through. Like I was saying before, it's really just social proof and access to their fan base and their network, and
Yeah.
hopefully to get bookings off the back of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember now we spoke about it a few weeks ago, didn't we? Like that whole process.
There is the major label side too, but I think that's for the more commercial sounding stuff. That's the kind of dance music that you hear on the radio and Butlins and the really kind of commercial destinations. But more underground electronic stuff is more the independent route.
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it's a good way in. Like at some point there'll be a track that gets released, and then it's like it does go through an independent label, and then
so sometimes as well, independent releases eventually become commercial, and it's not because of they wanted to make it commercial. It's just because it was so big in the underground that it popped off in the mainstream as well.
It breaks through.
But the intention really isn't to. You honestly never need to cross over as an underground artist. You can be very sustainable and great just killing the underground. Most people will never hear of you, but within the underground scene you could be like very well known and famous or whatever, clouty, but there's guys who are absolutely killing it who probably have like less than 10k followers on Instagram, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably more of a satisfying journey though, no? Like start in your niche that you actually want to make instead of shooting for the mainstream, and then if something does pop off, it's not intentional, it's just you're still doing what you love to do. You make a great track, the best track you can do, and and then if someone gets hold of it, then if it connects with the wider audience,
it is a different playing field. 1 million streams in an underground song is like a smash hit, honestly. 10 million is like, wow, you fucking killed it.
yeah, that's it. And I guess like at that point you're gonna start getting attention from bigger labels, potentially major labels. So and
there's always there is like a stigma within the underground, I'd say, like they don't like commercial side of things too much. They want to keep it as grassroots as possible. So sometimes it can be very, what's the word, like gatekeeperish.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a lot of DJs who eventually become commercial, it's not necessarily that they set out on a path to be commercial. It's just that the music just reached the masses.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of in like gatekeeping terms, that's probably like a positive way of gatekeeping, where it's like people want to protect a certain sound and they want to have it kind of be at a certain level for you to get in. You know, you can't just be anyone coming in. It's kind of a good thing. It's kind of like, I saw a clip from Neo and he said something about the industry these days compared to what it was like. He was like, when he was coming up, like he had to learn how to sing properly. He had to spend like thousands on vocal training. He had to learn how to sing while dancing and learn all these tricks for performing. Whereas now it's like you can put the auto-tune on live. You can just, you know, blow it through TikTok, and it's not as well gate kept, which is again good for some, but
yeah, I hear that. It's definitely you don't have to be that musician. You don't even have to be a music head like that anymore, really. It's just about brand.
Literally,
but isn't that brands, with everything though? Is that not just, that's not even just with music, it just seems with everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it seems like these days it's more so you trust the brand before you trust the product. It's like a good harsh example is like KSI's like Lunchly thing. Probably made millions from that, but it's a shit product.
What is that?
Still made millions. It was him, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul released like, you know, like Lunchables. You know, like used to have in school.
Things.
Yeah, where you get like the crackers, the cheese, the ham, and everything. They made like a competitor to that. It's called Lunchlys. And there's like, there's less salt in there, there's less this, less that, and then this guy that like, or less sugar as well, because I think that in the big version you get like a Capri Sun in there as well, like a drink. And then this guy that is like a food scientist, he went sort of compared the two, and he's like, yeah, well, the reason why there's less salt is because there's way less nutrients in there, like everything's lower, the sugar comes from the Capri Sun, but that's also got the vitamins in there and everything, so yes, you're beating them on all these things, but you're not actually giving them any nutrients. He said for a kid to actually eat it and get what they need, they'd have to have like 2.5 boxes of it for them to actually, you know, get what they want from it.
These guys are just releasing anything, man. Like
any old thing, and that's it. Yeah, because their brand's good. Like, that's it. Personal branding. So I think it comes.
Because that's such a random product to release. Lunchlys.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I get it. The audience, well, especially KSI. His audience is probably quite young. Yeah,
it's just young kids. Main demographics probably like 18 and below. Most of it anyway. So it's that's just what they're rocking with. But it comes with a responsibility. Do you ever feel like when we were dropping kits a lot more frequent, the longer we dropped kits for, like the more time went on, the more I felt like you had more of a responsibility to put out like a really good product. I remember in the beginning I was just putting out like any old crap. Like I was just, you know, just putting out anything. Whereas now it's like you really have to make sure you're putting out something solid.
Yeah, but to be fair though, in the beginning, I didn't really understand what a good product was. I thought the kits that I put out were amazing, but now if I listen to them, they're not. They're really not.
I guess it's just with time.
I think it's time as well.
Yeah. As long as at the time you know what you're putting out is good, then. And
the market has matured a lot, because when I first released the kit, that was 2017.
Yeah.
People were still going on freejumpkits.net to get kits, you know. Splash wasn't banging like it is now, and there wasn't a million sample companies. Yeah,
it's definitely, it's become more nuanced, and like the bar has set, the level set way higher now. Like if you want to do well with sample, was only
introduced into our life until what, like 2020 ish, maybe.
Yeah, I think when I was in Cyprus, I just saw people like using just like wave one shots. And I was like, what are they using that for? Why don't you use a VST? And I was like, no, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Years, but yeah. I might have to wrap here if that's cool, just because I've got a call in at 10. But, appreciate you guys listening and watching. See you guys soon. Peace.